Well, time is up for those facing evictions as the CDC mandated eviction moratorium expires today. But DeKalb County is stepping in to extend it for some residents. Meanwhile, some people in other counties are in search of what is next. Shanu Hur spoke with a tenant lawyer who had some advice for renters who are facing eviction.
Thousands of renters around Metro Atlanta face evictions as months of unpaid rent piles up, and landlords are being faced with whether to go forward with that costly legal practice. Attorney Matthew D. McMaster in Marietta practices landlord and tenant law. He says if you're a tenant facing eviction, it's best to try and mend the relationship with your landlord if possible. He says that's likely the best path forward for many landlords also. For tenants who can't work out an agreement, McMaster says it's best to offer to pay what you can and see if the landlord accepts the money for the month of August.
Before COVID, you had, the Georgia law is that if the tenant pays any rent in the month that you file for the eviction, the landlord cannot move forward with the eviction because the payment of rent in that month is what gives them the right to be there.
That's why it's so crucial for tenants to get the money from the pandemic rental assistance passed by Congress, which President Joe Biden is pushing state and local governments to do all that's possible to get out immediately. Some tenants have applied for the money and still haven't received it.
In order for for a tenant to capitalize on these programs, they had to have the landlord make certain promises and agreements with that third party.
McMaster says for landlords, he recommends talking to tenants who are in a bind and working out an agreement because there's still a lot of unanswered questions with the Delta variant.
My advice to landlords is make sure you do everything properly. If you can't do everything, cross your T's, dot your I's, just mend that relationship and hold off on the eviction.
All right, some good advice there. DeKalb County Judge Asha Jackson signed an emergency order Friday to extend the countywide eviction moratorium for 60 more days. And on Tuesday, we are expecting DeKalb County CEO Michael Thurman, who will present a revised rental reimbursement proposal to the DeKalb County Board of Commissioners. We'll update you on that when we know more.